Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about factoring again. So most of this is going to be a review from chapter 4, but there's going to be a few new things, all right? If it's a review and you know what you're doing, you guys, feel free to get the problem, do it, and then skip ahead to the next problem. You don't have to watch me do it if you know how to, all right? All right, here we go. This first one, don't mind writing down, okay? Just factor means to break apart into little parts that could be multiplied. So we're working backwards, okay? First example, the greatest common factor. We've done this before. We have to look for the common things that you can take out of all of the terms. All right? The reason we do GCF first, greatest common factor, is because you should always ask yourself, are any terms in common before doing any other type of factoring? Because you can always do greatest common factor and another kind of factoring, so make sure you check this. On this one, if we look, the number that goes into both of these is 25. So I'm going to divide both by 25, and if we look, they both have x values. The smallest x value is x squared, so I can take an x squared out of both. Now when I do this, I just write whatever I'm dividing by on the bottom, so 25x squared, parenthesis, 50 divided by 25 is 2. Now when I take x to the fourth divided by x squared, all I do is take 4 minus 2, so I'm left with x squared. Minus 25 divided by 25 is 1, and those x's are going to cancel out. So this right here is our answer for this one. All right, moving on to the next one. Grouping. If we have 4 terms, so 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, all we have to do is put it into our box. So we have 30x cubed, negative 18x squared, negative 25x, and 15. Now here, greatest common factor here. 15 and 25 is 5. Now we can't forget this, you guys. If there's a negative here, it's going to be a negative 5. Then we go up here. Greatest common factor of 30 and negative 18 is 6. And then I have x cubed and x squared, so I'm going to put x squared. It's going to be the smallest one. Go on this one. 30x cubed and negative 25x is just going to be 5x. And then we'll also do the same thing here. It's negative, so I put a negative. 18 and 15, the greatest common factor is 3. Now, this is how I work out my problem. My answer is actually going to be the factor x, 6x squared minus 5 times the factor 5x minus 3. This is how we have to write our answer, okay, as 2 sets of factors. All right, moving on. When we have trinomials, that means we have 3 terms. We are going to use the AC method, all right? So here we go for this one. Right away, if you need to write down, A on this one is 2, B is negative 5, C is negative 12. So we're going to take A times C has to add up to B. So 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. And my B value is negative 5. So 2 factors of 24, we have negative 8 and 3. If we add those together, we get negative 5. That's what we want. Now we're going to rewrite this problem. So we get 2x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 12. This right here should add up to be whatever it is in our original problem. If so, we're doing it right. We can move on to our next step, which is just plugging it into the box like we did in the last example. So we get 2x squared, negative 8x, 3x, and negative 12. Greatest common factor here is 3. Here it's 2x. Here it's just going to be x. Here this is negative, so we have negative 4. Now we're going to write this as factors, so it's 2x plus 3 times x minus 4, and there's my answer for that one. All right, moving on. Now, the last one was a review. This one is a little bit new, okay? For this one, I have x to the 6. We're going to treat it the same way as we did the last one. So we're going to find our a, b, and c. A equals 1, b equals 10, c equals 24. A times c has to add up to b. So 1 times 24, 10, so 24. The two factors of 24 that add up to 10, and we're going to have what, 4 and 6, because 4 plus 6 equals 10, 4 times 6 equals 24. We're going to rewrite our original problem. So here is where it changes a little bit. I'm going to write x to the 6 plus 4x cubed, because that's what this is, plus 6x cubed plus 24. With this, now I can plug it into my box again. Get x to the 6, 4x cubed, 6x cubed, and 24. Let's take the greatest common factor here. We have 6. This is x cubed. This one is going to be x cubed, and here we have 4. So our answer for this one's going to be x cubed plus 6 and x cubed plus 4. There's our answer. So not much changing, we just have to check our exponents, okay, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we're going to do one more using AC method. This one's going to be a little bit different. First thing that we forget all the time is that we forget to take out the greatest common factor first. So we have to, on this one, use GCF first. And this, we can divide everything by 4, and we can divide everything by x squared. So first thing I have to do is rewrite this problem. I'm going to get just 4x squared on front. The inside, my 4's cancel. 6 minus 2 is 4, so x to the 4th. Minus 20 divided by 4 is 5. X subtract 4 from 2, I get 2 plus 6. Because my x is on this one, cancel. Alright, now I have 3 parts, so I can put in my AC method. A equals 1, B equals negative 5, C equals 6. Plug that in for AC method. A times C has to add up to B. So 1 times 6 has to equal negative 5. So this one we're going to use negative 3 and negative 2. If I add those together, I would get negative 5. And I have to rewrite my problem. When I do this super annoying younger brother or sister, have to take them with us everywhere we go. We cannot forget about them. So I have 4x squared. On the inside here, I'm going to x to the 4th, because that's what they use, minus 3x squared minus 2x squared plus 6. Once I get here, plug it into my box. X to the 4th, negative 3x squared, negative 2x squared, and 6. Find our greatest common factors. So we have negative 2, x squared, again negative here, so negative 3. Now for this one, when we rewrite it, super annoying brother and sister, can't forget about them. So we have to put 4x squared times the quantity, x squared minus 2, and x squared minus 3. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is our answer. So nothing new so much. Alright, next one, perfect squares. We should have a list somewhere of all of our perfect squares, and we know 16 and 81 are perfect squares. For these ones, ladies and gentlemen, all we have to do, write out our two factors right away. One's going to be plus, one's going to be minus, and then we just go from there. 16. Square root of 16 is 4, so I put 4 here, I put 4 here. Now, before we used to just put 2 x's, but this is x to the 4th. So I have to split it in half, so this is going to be x squared and x squared. And then last one, 81. Square root of 81 is 9, so I just put 9 in here and in here. And then we are done with that one. That's all we have to do. We just have to know our perfect squares and make sure we split up our x squares evenly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now on to the new stuff, alright? This stuff is brand new. We haven't done before. We're going to work with our perfect cubes. So first thing I'm going to write down all my perfect cubes. So 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 8 cubed is 512, 9 cubed is 729, and 10 cubed is 1,000. So you guys are going to want to make sure you get this. You're going to come back to these a lot. So make sure you have this and all these examples we've been doing, okay? Those are our perfect cubes. We're going to use those on our next 2 examples. Here we go. Now, so important. This is brand new. Sum of 2 cubes. All right, if I have an x cubed, this is when I know I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this formula. First thing before I can plug it into my formula is I have to write this as 2 perfect cubes. So this is going to be rewritten as x cubed, and then 64, so plus what cubed is 64? If you look back at your list, you're going to see 4 cubed. Okay? And now I'm going to have an a and a b. My a equals x, so it's this one right here, and my b equals whatever number here is being cubed, which is 4. And I'm going to plug it in to this equation right here. That's all I'm going to do. So this equals, my a is x, so I'm going to put x plus my b, which is 4. Parenthesis, close, a squared, so my a is x squared minus a, which is x, times b, which is 4, plus b squared, so 4 squared. Now, I'm just going to sharpen this up a little bit, so it's going to be x plus 4. This is x squared. I like to write my numbers first, so I'm going to write minus 4x plus 4 squared is 16. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my answer. All I'm doing is plugging it into that equation. Alright, so this is the sum of cubes. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference of cubes. First thing we have to do, rewrite it as perfect cubes. 8 can be broken down to a perfect cube. 2 cubed, so I'm going to write 2w cubed minus 27 would be 3 cubed. Now, my a on this one is this whole thing. So it's 2w. And my b is going to be 3. Now, this is different, which means subtraction. Okay? So all I'm going to do is plug my a and my b into this equation right here. So this is going to equal a, which is 2w, minus b, which is 3, to the quantity. Now this whole thing, the 2w is all being squared, okay? Plus 2w times 3 plus 3 squared. Now I'm going to clean this second part up a little bit. Bring my first part down, 2w minus 3. Here, the squared goes here and here, so 2 squared is 4, and then I'll leave it as w squared. Plus 2 times 3 is 6w, plus 3 squared is 9. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our answer. All right, there we go. All right, you guys, this is just a review. You don't have to write this down if you don't want to. You can if you wish. Just remember to always do greatest common factor first. If you can't do greatest common factoring, if there's 4 terms, we're going to group by factoring. If there's 3 terms, we're going to use AC method. And then we learned today our difference in sum of 2 cubes. All right? So it has to be 2 terms and it must be perfect cubes. That is all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.